Laura, what has been the trend of giving at Springfield College over the past years? As a student, okay, give this answer to me. Why do I need to go back to the college? Laura, what are the things you and your team are doing to encourage the givings or to bring more people in the giving way of life? For me, I think giving back to the college give a inner fulfillment. I feel like very good about myself. What are other things our alumni or the people who are giving back to the college get from the college?
Yeah.
Fundraising can be both exciting and tricky. What do you find most fun about it, and what is the challenging part about it? What will happen if Springfield College do not get any funding from the alumni or from the giving day?
First of all, let's hope that never happens.
Yeah. What differences have you noticed between the colleges that receive the more donation versus those colleges who receive the least? What are some major factors? What are you most excited about the upcoming year? Hello, and welcome to Let's Go Officials. I'm your host Miraz Hussain, and I'm very excited today. I'm very excited because this is a black box that I also do not know, and I'm very excited to explore this part. And I am more excited because today I have someone truly special. She is the director of development with massive and diverse experience in different fields. She is multi-talented and she has done incredible work in different field. I am very excited to introduce the one and only Laura Metallo.
That's me.
Laura, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
You are welcome. How are you doing today?
Pretty good. Things are good. Getting excited to have students back on campus any minute now, and it's getting exciting here.
Love to hear that. Laura, could you tell a little more about yourself and your work, please?
Sure. Well, I have been, it seems insane to say, but I've been working in fundraising now for more than 20 years, which makes me real old. But 3.5 of those years have been here at Springfield College so far. And I've worked, like you mentioned, in lots of different sectors of nonprofit work. So I have worked at PBS, so public broadcasting in media, doing some fundraising for them. I've worked at a men's homeless shelter as their fundraising events planner and grant writer. I've worked in the performing arts as an annual fund director, and then I've had over 10 years of experience specifically in higher ed. Here at Springfield College, I oversee all of our annual giving efforts. So that includes all kinds of things. Our general annual fund, which is the Springfield College Fund. I oversee a lot of the fundraising for athletics, East Campus. For any of your viewers that don't know what that is, it's a special program that we have here at Springfield College, slightly off campus, that offers outdoor recreation and learning opportunities for folks. We're really lucky to have that. We just started helping club sports do some fundraising, and then within all that, I oversee Giving Day, our student Phonathon program, which we call our Donor Engagement Assistant program, faculty and staff campaign, working with parents on giving, all kinds of things. And then beyond that, I'm also the co-chair of Staff Council here at Springfield College and advisor to the Best of Broadway student group on campus.
Wow, that's incredible. You do a lot of things that you already explained, but I think you also missed one thing. Uh, in the college, I see you almost everywhere, like a lot of places. You always come with your own gesture, on style, on a smile. So you have your own presence. Uh, Laura, tell us a day in life of a director of development.
So it's every single day is different, and that's kind of why I like this work a lot. I could be spending a full day in meetings, trying to meet with people both internally in our department and across campus, working on strategies for upcoming campaigns, or those sorts of things. I could spend a whole day at my desk just writing an appeal that we're going to mail, and then the follow-up email language to complement it, and then thinking about what sort of social media do we want to add to it. So really thinking multifunctionally with our writing. I could be doing training with our student donor engagement assistants, which is always really fun when I get to interact with students like that. I could be out on the road meeting with an alum and talking to them about their experiences at Springfield College, or I could just be compiling lists of recent donors so that we can send them thank you notes, and finding who's the right person to write that thank you note to the donor. So every day is a little different. Every day brings something new and exciting, and since luckily I love the work that I do, every day it's like, oh, I get to do this today, and oh, I get to do that tomorrow. This will be great.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for giving the brief overview of that, and we are going to talk in very detail about every component that you explained.
Great.
But before that, I want to start from here. I'm I also have my startup, so I feel like I'm a startup and entrepreneurial enthusiast, and I have always been very curious to know the financial point of college, how the college run from the financial point of view. Could you please shed some light on that?
Sure. So uh, I do not work in the finance department. So we're taking what I'm about to say with a grain of salt, because I know big picture. I don't know many of the details
Okay.
once we get down into it, but I do know that we are very tuition driven here at Springfield College. So 90% of college income comes from college tuition. Um, but we also receive federal and state funding. We apply for grants that we receive every year, obviously contributions from both individual and corporate donors. The college has investments, and we see some money come in from that. It's really fairly complex accounting, but it's important that we have that kind of diverse portfolio of income so that, God forbid, any one of those things goes awry, we have all these other places that we can sort of fall back on and look at, okay, well, how do we enhance that now? Because this is not doing as well or whatnot.
Okay. Thank you for giving the overall pictures. Laura, so you said that you are more about the fundraising part. Like, what is your part where you are more involved?
So I specifically am working with annual giving. So I'm working on gifts that are coming in this year that are going to be spent and used this year, and then next year we need them again, right? So when I'm talking to donors, I'm saying, we could use your help this year. And guess what? We're also going to need your help next year,
Next year.
because that money is coming in and being spent. We have a couple of different ways in which we kind of categorize the donations that come in. So we have like current use funds, and we have endowed funds. So I would say the best way to think about those are current use funds are like a checking account, right? So someone gives the college $100, and in a week or two, that $100 is going to be spent on something that the college needs. It could be fixing an elevator in International. It could be, gosh, let me think. It could be we need additional money for financial aid because we have more qualified students than we thought, so we need to put some more into that bucket, right? And then we have endowed funds, which is kind of like the college's savings account, right? So that's money that goes into an account, and it's almost fully untouchable, but it spins off interest every year, and we can spend the interest. So once a fund is set up and endowed, it's there for in perpetuity, which is what's great for us. So we know we always have that money coming, and it will spin off some interest for us to use. But people can keep adding to that fund, and the more that fund grows, the more interest it produces for the college. But it puts us in a good place so that we always have that money in like savings. So a great example of that is like scholarships, right? People will put a bunch of money into scholarship, and then the interest that comes off is what we pay out in scholarships. But that just means that that scholarship will be here for the long term. Yeah, I think so. Those are the two sort of things that when I'm thinking about my work that I'm thinking about in terms of annual giving. But we also have both restricted and unrestricted gifts. And this is a place that I like to try to do a lot of education to donors, because I think a lot of people don't understand the difference. They understand the difference, but not why both are important. So with restricted gifts, that is a donor saying, I want my money to go to this. So I want my money to go to field hockey, and then field hockey gets that money and they do what they need to do with it. Unrestricted gifts are gifts that people give to the college and essentially say, you know what you need this money for. I trust you to be a good steward of this money. And then the college, depending on what level we're talking about, the finance department or the president or the board of trustees or whoever has to weigh in, says, we need to use this money on this. It is our greatest need at this moment. Again, it could be financial aid. It could be a burst steam pipe somewhere that has to be fixed right away. But a lot of people don't like to necessarily give to the unrestricted fund because they feel like their money is just sort of going into this black hole where they don't know what it's doing. But the good news with the unrestricted fund is it is helping to keep the college running at the quality and the level that we appreciate about Springfield College and we come to expect from Springfield College. And if, for example, if I was going to give $100 it was between field hockey and the unrestricted fund, that's not to say if it goes to the unrestricted fund that field hockey couldn't say, we have this major need right now, and that money couldn't end up with field hockey. It just means it won't necessarily end up there. But if money goes to field hockey, it can only be used for field hockey. So the president couldn't say, I need some of that money for the steam pipe. Nope, that stays with field hockey.
Thank you for explaining the unrestricted and restricted. Yeah, I totally agree. A lot of people want to give to the restricted one because they see where they are giving.
Exactly.
But thank you for explaining how giving the money in unrestricted help college to move in more better way and more organized way. Okay, so we get a lot of money in the restricted category. Is there anything on top of your mind? Where do we get the most money? Where do we get the highest money in our college?
I mean, honestly, we get the most money in our unrestricted account because
Okay.
we have, I know, which is great,
Yeah.
which is where we need it, because we have a lot of our bigger donors who have had personal conversations with people here at the college or fundraisers for the college who have had the opportunity and been able to explain the importance of the unrestricted funds. I think, and that's why I sort of come back to, this is why my department, need to do a better job of educating people about the importance of unrestricted funds. Of course, we want them to give wherever they want to give their money to, right? So if they just really want to give to field hockey, have at it. That's great. Thank you so much. But our big money that's coming in is from folks who have had conversations with our fundraisers and have been able to talk about, well, this is where our greatest need is right now. We would love it if you would give your money to our unrestricted funds so that we can make those decisions. And so that's why that's kind of our biggest fund.
Laura, you said that this is also one of the job of our office to educate people about the restricted, unrestricted form. What are the like? How are you educating the people about these things? I think one is like coming to the podcast. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, I mean that's it. I mean it's just making sure that whenever we have a platform to talk about it, that is part of what we're talking about. Um, Again, a lot of it comes in individual conversations with donors one on one. In some of our fundraising materials, we'll lay out a little bit of it. It's hard when you're sending something via mail or email. We know people's attention spans are real tight these days. So you don't have a lot of time in writing to explain something. Um, we have talked about the idea of doing video, having students help explain it and teach people and putting it out in a real quick video. Um, so I think that might be a way that we can do some additional education going forward.
Interesting. We are talking about the fund and gift. What are the some ways, some possible ways that people, alumni, anyone can give to the college?
There's this saying that people use in the business and elsewhere that I sort of hate because it's very cliche, but it is exactly what the message is. And we will ask people to give of their time, their talent, or their treasure.
Okay.
So people can give back by volunteering, right? And that could mean coming to a prospective student event and talking to prospective students about your experience at Springfield College or how Springfield College sort of set a springboard for you for your career. It could mean reaching out to your classmates that we've lost. We don't have a way to contact them anymore because they've moved or they've moved to a different job, and that was the only email address we had for them was at their last job. So, you know, getting through the class Facebook page and seeing who you can find and saying, hey, the college doesn't have your information. They want to make sure you're getting the e-newsletter or the invitation to homecoming, those sorts of things. Or writing notes to prospective students or thank you notes and those sorts of things. So that would be examples of giving your time. Your talent would, be attending a student networking event and helping students learn how to network, talking to them about where they want to go in their career and how to get there and how it doesn't have to be a straight path, how you can try all sorts of things in the meantime. If your company offers or can offer an internship opportunity for a student, that's another way to share your talent. Or come and speak to a class specifically about what you're doing. And then treasure, of course, is primarily giving back financially, right? That's what we think about when we talk about giving of treasure. But it could, again, also mean donating historical Springfield College items back to the museum or to the archives. If you're going through grandma's attic and you find a picture of your great-grandfather and James Naismith when they were at Springfield College, like that's something that would be important for the college to have to keep in sort of our history, our visual history through the archives here.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah. So there are different way to give. It's not only about the money. It's also about the time, energy, effort.
Yeah.
Thank you for explaining that. Laura, what has been the trend of giving at Springfield College over the past years?
So Springfield College is following the national trend of giving especially in higher education, which is good because it means we're in line with what all our peers are doing, but it's not all great news. So we are seeing, and it sounds like great news, we are seeing more money come in, but from fewer donors. And so obviously the more money part is great, right? Because that means more resources and more things that we can provide for our current students. But having less donors is where we need to start focusing our efforts and really hone in on why that is and how to sort of reverse that trend, because typically, and it's not always this way, there are always people that step outside of the norms, but typically our older donors are the folks who are giving more money. They're more established in their careers, they have more to give than our younger donors. And those older donors won't always be around, right? They're getting older, and they're going to start not being able to give back to the college. And so what we're missing is that younger cohort of folks giving back to sort of make up for those older donors, right? So in 50 years, who are we going to have in our donor, in the pipeline, if you will, of donors who can be helping the way our older donors are today? So that's where the fewer donors part gets a little bit problematic, and where we're trying to sort of turn that around. And even if people are giving $10, $25, right, they're creating a habit of giving back to the college. And then by the time they're 50 years into their adult lives, maybe they have more. Maybe now they're giving $1,000, right? So it's good and it's bad, but it is kind of across the board, unless you're at one of those schools like Harvard or Yale that they're just always going to have the money.
Wait, so Laura, what do you think? Why the trend of donate giving back to the college in the our like newer generation is a low or it's getting decreasing?
So I think there's two things. First of all, nowadays you can give to anything at any time, all the time, right? There's always some sort of place that you can give your money to. And we have found through research that younger people want to give to very specific things that they know about and care about. So, for example, they're giving to GoFundMe pages for family and friends that have either fallen on hard times or had some sort of tragedy, right? They're giving to that. They're giving to causes that mean a lot to them, in an animal shelter or something like that. They're not necessarily thinking about giving back to the college because they're like, I still have student debt and I have, all the things, and I paid to go there. Isn't that enough? Right? But what younger people have to understand is that, yes, obviously you paid, and you paid a lot. I'm not discounting that. But there were donors, people who came before you, who donated to help cut the cost of what you're spending, because tuition doesn't cover nearly the full amount that it costs to educate a student here. So they're giving to very specific things. And number two, just real quickly, is that the culture of giving is not the same as it used to be. It used to be that you knew when you left college, there was like an expectation that you would give back when you were able to. And that's not necessarily been the same for younger generations. So it's kind of twofold.
Laura, I totally agree with you because a lot of my friends also say we paid a lot to the college, so why should we give back to the college?
Yeah.
What do you think? Why do we need to give? Why do we need to have a culture? Or why do, as a student, okay, give this answer to me. Why do I need to go back to the college?
I think what's most important about giving back to the college, especially when you're young, is to keep the Springfield College experience alive for future generations.
Okay.
So before you came, there were other people who came who had the Springfield College experience and put enough value on it that they then give back so that you can have that experience. And so looking forward, once people are out 10, 20 years and they have a little more income, it's important for them to be giving back as the people before them did, to continue the Springfield College legacy through, I mean, we have incredible students here, obviously.
Thank you.
And so we want to make sure that we always have incredible students here. And the way to do that is, or a way to help do that is in giving back.
Yeah, wait. I just realized these things. Yeah, I totally agree because if I would not have got like the very good scholarship, I think I will not be here. So yeah, I totally agree. I'm going to give back to the college because I got a lot from the college. Thank you. Laura, what are the things you and your team are doing to encourage the givings or to bring more people in the giving way of life?
So I'm going to answer this question with three things. Two of them are going to seem ridiculous. Um, but first and foremost, the very first thing that we're doing is we're asking people to give back, which seems like a no-brainer, of course, but there are a lot of nonprofits that don't ask, right? And you're never going to get something if you don't ask for it. So we ask, and we ask a lot. But we know that in order for our message to reach someone and compel them to give, they have to be receiving the right message at the right time, right? So if I send a message right now to someone to say, hey, can you get back to the college? They might be like, I just spent a fortune getting my new college freshman ready for the dorm. I can't right now. But in December, if I send them a message, they might be like, okay, yeah, we're settled now. We're ready to go. We can give a message. So we ask, and we ask a lot because, again, that's the only way you're going to get it. And then we try to keep donors engaged with the college. So again, we want them thinking about Springfield College, and we want them feeling like they're getting some value back from their gift as well. So we send a monthly e-newsletter that's full of alumni and student stories to make people be thinking back to their time at Springfield College. We send event invitations. We do the occasional just because silly video, right, around Halloween or Valentine's Day, just to say, hey, we're thinking of you. Look at Spirit doing these wacky things. But because we know if we can keep Springfield College somewhere in your brain, that when the Springfield College appeal or email hits your inbox, you'll be like, oh yeah, they've been doing such good stuff, right? So we're trying to do a lot more of that, keeping people engaged. And then saying thank you, right? I mean, again, that's another, feels kind of like a no-brainer thing to say, but a lot of times that part can get missed. And I think we do a decent job at it. I think we can always, I mean, you can never say thank you too many times, right? So we are always working on how can we show our tremendous appreciation better, more often, in a way that people will open the message to hear our thank you, those sorts of things. So I think those are the three ways that I would say we
Laura,
encourage.
I truly agree with you. Like the way you say that if you ask, for example, I will say to myself, if I need to give any money to the college right now, I think I will not give because I'm paying my tuition. But if I have already paid my tuition, I'll be more than happy to give whatever I can. So I really like the way you think about the time, like when to hit. I think that was great. I like it.
Thanks.
Uh, we have a giving day in our college. Tell us about giving day and why it is important. What are the things you do, your team do in the giving day?
Sure. So Giving Day is one day when we ask all of our community, so our alumni, parents, friends, faculty, staff, current students, everybody that has any sort of relationship to Springfield College, to come together and give in support of our current students. It's a fun day. It's an exciting day. We have matching gifts and challenge gifts so that your $10, when you make a $10 gift, it becomes $20 to the college. Or when 1,000 people give, $10,000 will be released. So there's There's all kinds of exciting activity there. We have lots of friendly competitions and donor leaderboards to see which class can raise the most money. We have a donor heat map, which is kind of cool on Giving Day to follow, and you can see, which states are giving the most, or which states have the most people giving. Spoiler alert, we always need West Virginia. If there are any donors out there from West Virginia, we need you to give on Giving Day. That's the one state we miss all the time. Anyway, sometimes we have donor incentives too, right? So specifically with East Campus, so if you make a gift to Friends of East Campus, you get, after Giving Day, we'll mail you a Friends of East Campus sticker. And it's a time for us to really involve students, which helps twofold. Number one, it helps us get the word out to students, because students will listen to students. But it also helps, the more students we can get involved, the more that now becomes part of their Springfield College experience, so that when they leave, they're like, oh yeah, I helped with that when I was there. I'll give back on Giving Day. Which is working, because we've seen the last 3 years of alumni graduates are giving at higher levels than the 3 years before that, right? So that is working. But we work with the student athlete leadership team, we work with student government agency, we work with our student Phonathon, our donor engagement assistants. Last year, our East Campus sticker was designed by students. We're hoping this year to do a t-shirt competition among students to design the Giving Day t-shirt. They're in our videos and our photos, and they really just make things exciting. That student energy makes things exciting. And I'm going to give you some breaking news on your podcast. We have not officially said this anywhere yet. We've been talking about it internally. This year's Giving Day is going to be a big one, because we're going out with $1 million goal.
Wow.
Trying to raise $1 million in one day, March 4th. I'm throwing out the date now so people can mark their calendars.
Laura, I totally agree with you, because the way you say that, I think there's also first law of physics. Wait, why I just get out of the blank, like a momentum just to go on. Because last year I gave a little money, but now it is in my mind that there is Giving Day and I have given, so I need to give this year as well. So for me, I think giving back to the college give a inner fulfillment. I feel like very good about myself. What are the things the people get, like what are the things you do, your team do for the for our donors? One thing you say that you send the newsletter. I think that is a good thing. What are other things our alumni or the people who are giving back to the college get from the college?
Yeah. So first and foremost, it's like you said, it's that good feeling, that warm, fuzzy feeling that you get inside of, I just did something good for someone else, which is twofold. What makes our job really hard, because unlike a sales position where you're selling, you're like, you give me money, I give you this. We're out there selling that good feeling, right? So that is first and foremost what our folks get. We do sometimes do campaigns where if you give a certain amount, you'll get this particular incentive, the swag item, those sorts of things. So we do that sometimes. Though then it becomes a little more transactional and it's less about that good feeling, but that good feeling is a nice dopamine hit that makes you want to do it again. So we really try to stay there as much as we can. But then also we do special things for some of our donors sometimes, like at reunion or at homecoming. There may be donor specific events where you get invited simply because you've given to the college at some level. Or at our higher level donors, folks who have given a significant amount of money, we do some specialty events for them as well from time to time. So,
Laura, you say that, and I have also noticed you involve a student through post video or giving day activities. Why do you make them such a big
Yeah,
part of giving days?
because it's about our students. I mean, really, that's what it is. It's their smiling faces that make people feel good and make people want to give back. Um, it's about showcasing our incredible student body, um, and making and helping people, not making, helping people see their experience through the students who are here now. Because a lot of what happens at college is the same as it's always been. A lot of it is very different, very different from my college experience, but a lot of it is the same. Like you're still going to class with groups of people, you're still showing up on day one and not knowing very many people or anyone, right? And having to learn how to, for many people, learn how to be independent for the first time. And I think when you see students in photos or in video, you can see that in yourself. You're like, I remember when that was me, right? So that's an important thing. But then also, as we talked about, it also kind of helps create that culture of giving back, right? So they're like, oh yeah, I was involved. I'll do that again now that I've graduated. Um, and when people remember how much fun they had on campus on Giving Day, they're like, and how they gave $5 or $10 to help their sports team or whatever, right? They're going to think about it again the next time Giving Day comes up when they are alums.
Laura, this is so true because right now when you were saying, I just remember because my picture was on the giving day, and I think I can forget everything in the world, but I will never forget that because I was everywhere. So still right now I see I was in that picture. So that will be like lifelong memory. I will
Yeah.
never forget the giving day because of that picture.
See?
Wow, thank
That's
you.
great.
That was,
And thank you for being in our picture.
of course, but that is like so powerful. Wait, did you also study psychology? Do you also read people mind?
No. I wish. I wish I could. That'd be amazing. Make my job a lot easier.
Okay, we are talking about the fundraising. Fundraising can be both exciting and tricky. What do you find most fun about it, and what is the challenging part about it?
Sure. I mean, the most fun part is just getting to know our donors, hearing their stories. I have heard some crazy stories about uh, parties on campus, or all in good fun practical jokes that have happened, or how I first met my spouse when we were both students here, and we fell in love, and the rest is history. Or you know, I've been my best friend and I live across the country, but we met at Springfield College, and we still get together once a year. We do a girls' trip together somewhere. I mean, it's those sorts of conversations and hearing the impact that Springfield College has had on the people that have been through here that is for sure the most fun part. Um, Challenging. I would say this is a very technical and logistical thing, but the most challenging part is keeping up with people, because people are moving so rapidly these days, in their careers or just literally their physical space. They're moving, to take a job in California and then take a job in Colorado. So, um, keeping up with people and keeping their contact information current, so that we can continue to send them the e-newsletter and the event invites and those sorts of things. I think that's one of the most challenging parts about this job, because people will move and they'll tell their credit card company, or they'll tell their um, student loan company, I've moved here now, send my bills there, but people don't think about updating the college.
Okay, so if I'm sure a lot of our alumni is going to watch this podcast, please, if you are moving some new places, please inform to the college.
Yes, you heard it here.
Thank you. I'm taking a full responsibility. Whenever I will move, I will inform to the college. This will be on my checklist bar. Thank you.
Fantastic. My work here is done.
Yes. Uh, Laura, what are some strategy you have implemented that has delivered great result? If you like to share on today podcast.
Um, A few things. So I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but we used to really try to just push our unrestricted fund as you should give here. In the last 3, 4 years, maybe, we have started to open that up and make giving more accessible for people. So now, essentially, wherever you want to give at the college, there's probably a fund for it, and your money can go there, whether it's of course, we encourage the unrestricted fund, but if you want your money to go to your team or your club sport team, which is now an option that wasn't there, or your academic department or a specific scholarship, like I received XYZ scholarship, now I want to give back so someone else can receive it. Um, we have a lot more options these days for folks, which is great. We are constantly working to upgrade our technology to make sure that we are mobile friendly and we're meeting people where they want to be. So QR codes obviously made a big comeback in the last few years. So making sure that when people are on campus, there are QR codes for them to use, or making sure that our gift form, once you're there to make your gift, is super simple and you can do it in just a couple clicks. And that you can give via Venmo. You can give via Apple Pay, right? Like making things as easy as possible. And then also offering a recurring gift option, because we know that everything these days is subscription based, right? Like there's very little you can do online, and you sign up and it is a subscription based. So essentially you can do the same kind of thing with your giving. You could say, I want to give this is going to make me do math. I don't do math on the fly very well, but I want to give $10 a month to the college. At the end of the year, I've now given $120, right? So, but I'm only giving $10 a month. That's easy. At the end of the I might not be able to just make a $120 gift right now, but I could do $10 a month. So, I mean, those are some strategies that we've seen good results with, because it's meeting people where they are and where they want to be.
Laura, wait, I'm going back a little bit again about the restricted, unrestricted.
Yeah.
How did you come, like, was there the category of restricted, unrestricted since beginning in Springfield College, or there was a time you came? Do you know why I asked? I don't know whether I can tell the name or not, but okay, I will tell. Gretchen, she work in library, and one day we had a conversation, and she was talking about these things, and she was explaining why I need to give back to the library.
Yeah.
So I think
Sure.
this is, I don't know, but I think this is working very well, because every faculty is also trying to talk about their how the money can come to that part, and that part is also a part of college. So I think this is going very well. How the idea of restricted and non-restricted came.
I think it has been there for a while, but we have been so focused on money can still go to the library if it comes to the unrestricted fund, if that's where the money is needed, right? So we've been so focused on the unrestricted fund can do the greatest good for the greatest number of people. So we should tell everyone to give there. But we've started looking at data, and it shows if people used to give to the unrestricted fund and then they give to something specific, more often than they're giving more to that specific thing than they would to just the general fund. So as we were looking at that, we're like, well, maybe it makes sense to let people choose where they want to give. And so, yeah, it seems to be working out.
Perfect. Uh, Laura, could you share a recent campaign or project at Springfield College that you are especially proud of?
Um, it's kind of silly to say, but last year's Giving Day was real good. I felt real good about last year's Giving Day. We did some new things, so we were able to offer clubs. That's when we rolled out the club sports designations for the first time, right? So now all of a sudden, women's rugby, you can give to women's rugby, and folks that played women's rugby a long time ago are excited about having that opportunity. So That was good. I think we have built some really good momentum. So last year we had more matches and challenges than we've ever had before. We had greater participation from alumni than we've ever had before. Um, we had uh, students giving back at higher levels than we've seen in a long time. And again, this is where we're starting to see those young alumni gifts creep up, which is great. So I think that is one of those things where I really um, have felt good about what we were able to do with that campaign.
You really feel good about it. It means we got good money. Yeah, I also
We got
I,
good
I
money.
also look on the website, but I do not remember exact number.
Yeah.
But it was in the million. Uh, Laura, because right now we talk a lot about the money that we get from alumni and other sources. What will happen if Springfield College do not get any funding from the alumni or from the giving day?
Well, first of all, let's hope that never happens.
Yeah, hopefully.
um, last year we had a really good fundraising year, and last year we raised over $8 million
Oh
through
wow.
fundraising. I will say that 4 million of that came in through realized bequests. So people who had left the college in their will and then sadly passed on, but then that money has come to Springfield College. So a lot of it was in that, which is tricky because obviously we can't count on that. We don't know, to be a little bit crude, we don't know who's going to die and when, right? So, but beyond that, if everyone just stopped giving, taking last year as an example, that's $8 million less coming to the college. So what does that mean? It likely means less money that can go into financial aid, which means fewer students, which means less tuition being paid, right? So it's kind of this ripple effect of um, how it affects all kinds of things. It would likely mean, I mean, I don't make the decisions, but it would likely mean that we'd have to cut some programs, right? Because we wouldn't be able to afford programs. It could potentially mean um, that there are fewer resources for students. I mean, $8 million is a decent chunk of change.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Okay, thank you. So I think this is also the main aim of asking this question. So this could be the possible result. So this is why we need to give, we need to generously give to the college. Thank you. Uh, Laura, you have also worked in other institution. Uh, what differences have you noticed between the colleges that receive the more donation versus those colleges who receive the less? What are the some major factors?
I mean, I think the biggest thing is the culture around giving back, right? So many of the colleges that have significant donor participation numbers and significant endowments, that big savings account, it's because it's essentially when you come in freshman year, you're told like it's an expectation. Once you graduate, you should be giving back as lots of other people have before you. So I think that's the biggest thing because we know people love Springfield College. It's not about I liked my college experience or I didn't like my college experience for the most part, right? We hear people talk all the time about how much they loved it. Um, but now we just need to turn that into giving back, or we can think of it as paying it forward for the next generation of students. So
In the middle of the conversation, you talk something about Phonathon. What is Phonathon?
yeah,
Tell a little more about that.
Phonathon is one of my favorite programs. We actually now call it our donor engagement assistant program because it used to be just a calling program, but now they're doing other things. So we hire between 8 and 12 students every year who will call alumni to talk to them, get updated contact information if they've moved to a new location or whatnot, and just talk to them about their Springfield College experience. Tell me what was it like when you were here oh, it's so different than now, or oh yeah, we're doing that same thing all these years later, um, with the ultimate goal of soliciting a donation and trying to get folks to give back to the college. It doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes it's just a great conversation, and we feel just as good about that because we have connected with that person, and it has now brought Springfield College hopefully up in their mind somewhere, um, so we could see the impact later. But also sometimes we have these folks call to follow up on event invitations. Hey, we sent you this invite. Are you coming? Um, Sometimes we just call to say thank you. That's one of my favorites is when our students just get to call and say, "Hey, you made a gift. Thanks a lot." And people are like, "Wait, is that it?" They're like, "Yeah, just saying thank you." Catches a lot of people off guard, but it's really nice. Um, and then our student workers, our donor engagement assistants, will also come to events and be student representatives at events for us too. So it's one of my favorite programs, and I love working with students.
Oh, thank you. Laura, I'm sure you have had many memorable moments with alumni when it comes to the fundraising or Phonathon. Would you like to share a conversation or a moment that really stick you that is on top of your mind?
Yeah, I think you had mentioned that you were going to ask this question, and I've been thinking about it, and there's not any one particular thing that stands out. It's more the culmination of alumni stories that I have heard from people. I've really started to learn and understand Springfield College in a much deeper way in having conversations with alumni. Um, to hear about what college was like and what are those common threads that you still see them in today's Springfield College student that you don't see everywhere else, right? Like when I came for my final interview for this job, I remember I left and I called my mom and I was like, "Mom, there were college students like saying hi to me as I walked by. Like I never would have said hello to a random adult on my campus." Um, and it was so nice and so refreshing. And I mean, it's something that's so unique to Springfield College that our students are those kinds of people. Um, and so you see it. It's almost like you can tell a Springfield College alum or student out in the wild because of how they're reacting. Um, and it's those sorts of like hearing that that's how it's always been and that's how it still is. Those are the things that I think are most memorable to me.
Okay. I totally agree. The one you said hi because I went to wait, can I say WPI and I was saying hi. I think I don't know, it was faculty or someone and people were not responding. Then I said, wait. Then I realized this is not Springfield College. No, this is like very unique to just our college. We say hi to everyone.
Yeah.
And I think that is like so powerful. I was just reflecting, like if someone can come or call and just say, "Hey, I called you for thank you." I don't know. That really hit the heart.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow, that I think that is the great things. If someone can do to me, wow, that is the great things you all are doing. Just call and say hi. That seems very powerful.
Yeah,
Wow.
it is. It is. Every time people are like, "What do you mean that's it? You don't need anything?" It's like, no, it's great.
Okay, we are almost at the end. So, what are your top priority and goal for the next few years?
Um, I think, as we talked about, educating alumni, parents, and students about the importance of giving back and how it works, restricted, unrestricted, um, current use versus endowed funds. So really doing some more education for folks. Increasing our donor participation, right? Because we know money's up, but donors are down. So we really need to try to equal those out a little bit. And then I think just really thinking very strategically about how to make people feel good about making their gifts to Springfield College. You know how good it feels to give back, right? So how do we help that? So what are we doing to help make sure that there's that feel good moment and that our donors know how much we appreciate the fact that they're helping in this way.
Interesting. What are you most excited about the upcoming year?
Well, first and foremost, just having students back on campus.
Oh,
I
thank you.
can't wait till everybody's back. There's just such an energy and an excitement. And selfishly, my son is coming here as the first year this year, so I'm excited to have him on campus too, right? Um, to be one of those great Springfield College students. I think just because it's one of my favorite days of the year, I'm really excited for Giving Day this year. I mean, it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a journey to get there. But if we can raise $1 million for Springfield College on one day, it will just be fantastic.
Can we say groundbreaking?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, we do have some other fun fundraising things that we're noodling around with this year. So there may be some other fun things popping up for ways for people to give, but we're not quite ready to reveal that yet.
Yeah, there won't be anything more important, more powerful, say worth saying how great or how good is Springfield College because you are bringing your son to the Springfield College. I think that means a lot. That says a lot. I think that is the perfect note to end the podcast. Thank you
Love it.
very much for coming to the podcast.
Thank
It was
you.
pleasure having you. And I think this podcast was also very important, very knowledgeable for me because I didn't know about these things. So thank you very much for
Yeah,
coming to the podcast.
fundraising is a whole nother world. And I'm excited that you were interested in learning about it. So
Yeah,
thank you.
of course. And I'm also waiting. I'm also looking to make another video of getting the milestone of 1 million in one day on the Thanksgiving day.
Love
Thank
it.
you.